Hello and happy Saturday, everyone. This is Harmony Muse, and welcome to more City of Heroes. We are currently going to be doing more storyline missions to try to. Okay, Oh, that's the merit vendor. Boy. We're going to sell off the enhancements we've currently got on our person. And then we're going to go off and finish this Vampyri storyline that we got started. Hello, Seraphina. Used to be you had to do a mission for each of the single target enhancement storyline givers. Let's go ahead and see if we can make it for the. We do this, we will have toxic psi resistance. Oh, is that my toxic and psi resistance? Anyway, my bots now have. Is that for all my bots or just these bots? Anyway. Cheaper than actually making it. And now we gotta go do our mission. Going to Founders Falls. Founders Falls, as I remember, used to be the other max level area back when cap was 40. I miss those days. And I picked the wrong spot. Whoops. That's what happens when you get old and your hands are shaky. Cyborg Panda. Interesting name. Well, I'm definitely not going to judge. This mission was arrest the supply master and okay. We're going to be fighting council for this and dealing with Vampyri today. Okay. Sorry, by the way, I haven't got a recording in the last couple of days. I've been dealing with, well, yesterday I had a medical appointment. I had my own doctor stuff to deal with. Alrighty. Council missions I liked least of all, simply because, well, there's this one particular multi-level room in a council mission that's very, very aggravating. We'll run into it several times over the course of this arc, I'm sure. It's this tri-level room once you get to it, and it's a wide area. And it's got little nooks and crannies in it that make it hard to find anything. Went too far forward. That's a problem. going to need to be clearing these out as we find them. There's another one here somewhere. Trick is finding it. And so we did. I remember back when City of Heroes first came out, I was obsessed with anything NCSoft. You know, I inhaled all of their content. Guild Wars, I loved it. Even though I was a PvP game and I don't really particularly care for PvP. Archon Zane, we're over 2 weeks ahead of schedule. Excellent. Auto Assault, which was a fun game. I enjoyed that one. One that was what's the term? Hamstrung very heavily and not really supported by the company, Tabula Rasa. I really, really enjoyed that one, but I won't speak ill of NCSoft. You know, company's entitled to have its disagreements with the creator. I don't know if speaking ill of NCSoft is against policy or not, but you know, there were definite personal disagreements between them and Richard Garriott. And Richard Garriott is, you know, of course, one of my idols. Or, you know, as a creator of the Ultima series. I know I'm hearing another. That being said, I really did enjoy Tabula Rasa at the time. The whole concept of you being, or your character being you, essentially. Search through the files. Find an interesting memo. It's a memo to Archon, Zane, Vampyri candidates. I found I understand you picked the next round of candidates for the Vampyri transformation process. When you send those dossiers to Nosferatu, please. They literally named their leader of the Vampyri Nosferatu. Really? Ready for the next group of Vampyri. As I understand, it should be a large number of records to base 8005 and King's Row Archon Wilder. Really? You name your Vampyri leader Nosferatu? And people say I'm an original at naming things. Well, granted, I named my robot mastermind after, well, yeah. We got more crates. I can hear them. And here we go. And then again, I was always a bit of an odd duck when it came to things like that. I liked the non-standard games. No, the weird stuff, as it were. Okay, so we need to go, and first we need to call Maricel. So the council is preparing another wave of Vampyri to unleash upon the city. That's not good. I only hope you were able to set them down by destroying these munitions. Okay, the rise of the Vampyri. Investigate base 8005 in King's Row. Okay, so we're going to be dealing with the Vampyri. But yeah, back in the day, NCSoft wasn't just the Lineage people, the Ion people, the Guild Wars people. They had quite a few other games. I mean, they had City of Heroes, they had various other experimental games they did. They had X-Steel, which was a robot fighting arena shooter. You know, pay to win stuff, not absolutely. They had like Dungeon Runners, which was another Richard Garriott one. Tabula rasa. I mean, auto assault was good. But quite a few of these got, popped up and, and went down quickly. I actually miss auto assault, to be honest with you. That one was genuinely really quite fun. And Ion. There was a time when Ion was a game where I was recommending that one to everybody. Because it essentially reminded me of World of Warcraft where you could fly. And, well, admittedly, the art was a little bit more scantily clad, but, well, granted, the art was, in some cases, scantily clad even in World of Warcraft. Or could be. This is a small map. So, of course, that was always a problem I had with fantasy RPGs, was the same armor that was head to toe, steel plate and spikes and intimidating on a guy was like barely barely covered the essentials on a lady. And here we have our first an Equinox. But Ion had this, or has rather, because I believe it's still going, had this brilliant mechanic of flight. In limited areas, you could fly for a certain amount of time. Okay. Let's breach it. This is a catastrophe. Don't take me as easily as he did say. Ow. That hurt. Heal. There's our knowledge. But I remember really enjoying it at the time and the music. Because I was weird about that. These files you found list every soldier scheduled to be turned into a vampire. Jamie Summers, with these, you may be able to capture a number of these men before the transformation takes place. Have a good lead on the base where the vampire candidates are being trained prior to the transformation process. The more of these men we can capture, the bigger the problem we can make for the council. Will you go over and arrest the vampire candidates? Sure. Talos Island. Now we're going to the mission. Okay, arrest all soldiers in base. Going to right, Talos. And somebody is speaking en français there. Hopefully nobody gives them garbage for it. The base is Spartan and dim. Okay, it looks like a place only a vampire could feel comfortable calling home. Built. Okay, and this mission size looks small. Matthew and Tom. Undefeated hero and I'll be in for certain. I know you altered my test scores. Tom, I should get to be a mighty vampire. Their files. I hear a computer. Where is it? Oh, files. Looking for an actual file cabinet. Files detail a number of crimes and human that have ruined lives. You can get them to the police later. So, all right. That's not a vampire. That is quite the opposite. One would argue that werewolves and vampires don't get along in most fiction. I would make an underworld joke, but that would be beneath me. No, that was not meant to be a pun. Don Silver. Smell the blood of a hero, Jamie Summers, I believe. Kill them. We just lost a bot. Well, let's fix that. There's our next file. 2 files even. Find some files on the Vampyri training program. Training logs. Lockers contain training and exercise gear, nothing terribly interesting. Now, speaking of other old NCSoft games, I was a huge fan of Tabula Rasa at the time, even though it was poorly maintained. Well, not, or poorly supported, rather. Granted, that goes less about my fandom of NCSoft, which admittedly was exceedingly high at the time, and more towards my fandom of one Richard Garriott. You see, I was, growing up, a big fan of the Ultima series of single-player computer role-playing games. And, I mean, which were originally developed by him and his original company, Origin Systems. Well, that's not entirely true. Research records, empty streak of files contain papers written by council scientists for the improvement of the council's Vampyri, implantations of multiple adrenal glands, skin, strengthening agents discussed at length. Last few papers were to recombinant genetic work, which is hoped will create newer, stronger Vampyri. Well, As a fan, I played most everything Richard Garriott, aka Lord British, had released in his time. The Ultima series, Tabula Rasa, and so on. So with the crypting instructions for the various council ciphers. Okay, and we just leveled up again. So when I heard that the company who was putting out my favorite online game at the time, City of Heroes, was also putting out a game by one of my favorite developers of all time, I had to get in on the ground floor. Okay. From the look of these files he found, it seems the council has been bolstering the ranks of the Vampyri for some time. In fact, it looks like they're getting ready to field test some kind of new improved vampire. If it weren't for you, Jamie Summers, we might not have known about these new Vampyri until they were upon us. Thanks to you, we may have some chance to stop them. Oh, I think you... Okay. According to these files, you found in the Vampire Training Center, it seems the council are planning to radically alter their vampire creation process. They plan to start using some kind of induced genetic mutation to turn men into Vampyri with little surgical augmentation. If they can do that, they can step up their vampire production 100-fold. I have a lead on the facility where they're testing the process. I want you to get a... If you can find out a little more about the process, we may have a chance to stop their research. So let's get to it, shall we? The fish paint from the fish paint from the fish. Why am I saying fish? From the fresh paint and gleaming metal, it looks like this base was only recently commissioned. Not sure why I'm having the speech impediment problem today. Tripping over my own tongue, and I don't know why. Thankfully, these missions are teeny tiny and not like Oren Mega huge. Council's attempt to making new Vampyri. There's something here for me to gather. I can hear it. I can feel it. Could be up. Up was the case, okay. Good thing I can fly. Lockers, unwashed gym clothes, and blazing with the council logo. Ew, that's gross. All the things I'd rather not find. Oh, crap. Smash. Working through it. Easily enough. Not much I can say about that. Laptop contains information on weapon specifications, interesting, but not what you're looking for. Fair. Okay, some samples of artificial DNA. Alrighty. We found where we're going from here. I just need to get there. This ought to solve it. And there we go. All the information about the Council's new Vampyri program. Failed experiment documents tell a terrible story. Mutations, disfigurements, and deaths, the result of the Council's attempt at genetically engineering a new type of Vampyr soldier. Dozens of men have died in these tests already, but the volunteers keep coming. The later tests, however, have been showing moderate success. Photographs denote civilian researchers participating in the experiments. All of them were lab coats bearing one name, Alderwise Genetics. Well, we're going to have to go pay those guys a visit. Ask them exactly what they think they're doing. You did a good job down there, Jamie Summers. There wasn't a lot of good information to be found. It seems the council isn't as far along as we'd feared, but they definitely are making progress on their efforts to improve vampire creation process. Look at this. It seems the council hasn't been working on these new genetic vampire enhancements on their own. A company called Alderwise Genetics has done a lot of their work for them. I'm going to do a bit of research on the company and see what I can find. Ask about available missions. Did a bit of digging on Alderwise Genetics. Their company is mentioned in the council files. It looks like Alderwise Genetics got bought up by a private investor about 2 years ago, after their CEO died in a car accident. After the buyout, they fired most of their staff and radically altered the direction of their research. From where I stand, it seems their private investor may have been in the council. I'll bet anything the council is using Alderwise as a front company to gain them access to genetic research data they couldn't get their hands on any other way. Would you get over to Alderwise and see if they can find any evidence that the council is involved with this? Fleet Security Chief and his men. And this is in Brixton. Well, let's get to Brickstown. And we're in Brixton. And heading to the mission. Time to go shoot some fascists. Alder Wise. I have the sinking feeling this is going to end up being a crave front. Smell of coffee in the air, the inspirational posters on the walls, no one will ever know this lab is a council front company. Okay. This appears to be the bulletin body of an all-wise researcher. He won't be able to tell you anything, not anymore. That's dark and morbid. I just realized why I'm having troubles. I am still tired. I think I will call it after this and go ahead and get to uploading. Could have been so much worse. We survived it barely. Computer's hard drives have been scrambled in the recovery. Bullet-ridden Alderwise researcher. That's a shame. A refile must be found. Of course, we must not fail the council. Ooh. You stopped just in time to stop the computer from erasing the last of its data. Data transfer. Unfortunately, there's no clue to the base's location. Should be almost through this dungeon. I'm sorry I'm quiet. I'm basically just trying to keep myself cogent and get this done for y'all. It might be there. Stop the count. Okay. You're just in time to stop the council from erasing its hard drives. And what does this computer say? Progenitor. Victor Sampson. Not bad. I've got some stuff worth selling. Anyway, guys, I hate to do this to you only after an hour of play, but I am falling asleep at my computer. So I'm going to go ahead and call it here. Thank you all very much for watching. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons. Thank you all and have a wonderful evening.